Hey y'all, welcome to Sweet Tea and Butterflies. Today we are doing the April's Just Our Imagination Challenge, and I am working with the supplies you saw on the screen. I wonder if you can guess what I'm making with them. Maybe, maybe not. So we have Kathy Jo DIYs and Rustic and Lace DIYs are the hosts. Simply Blessed Crafts is our guest host. So let's get into DIY number 1. I am making a little spring plaque using the challenge item of the napkins. For this particular challenge, we had to use napkins, a funnel, and tinfoil. So this is my napkin project. Now, y'all don't forget to check out the playlist. It's in the description box. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Go watch all the other creators, because we have an absolutely wonderfully talented group of creators. Also, Brenda's birthday is May 7th, and she is so close to her 20,000 subscriber landmark there. So it would be absolutely wonderful if you guys could share her video, and I'm going to leave her, each of the hosts, links to their channels in the description box. But it would be great if you would click on that, go over, and as you're watching her video, share it with some friends. Invite them to, go watch her video, subscribe. Let's help her make her goal. That would be really cool. That would be a great birthday present for her. So as you can see, I took and I used Mod Podge, and then I laid the napkin down and I used the iron-on method this time. I didn't want any bubbling and wrinkling and yucky. So, and that was the easiest way to do this. For this little blessed word here, I'm using some antique wax so that it'll kind of stand out on that plaque when I put it on there. So I am running late to getting my video done and on the playlist. I had a work trip. I work in a law office, and the attorneys had a continuing legal education class that they were taking in Sevierville, Tennessee, and the boss decided she was going to book 2 condos for the week and took the whole staff, which is absolutely wonderful. I have the most awesome boss, because I wasn't required to go to the CLE, but her and Leslie were. And then her husband came Thursday night, and they still had class on Friday. So while he was working and they were in class, I was watching her absolutely adorable little guy. I mean, he is the cutest. So, for the most part, I had my days kind of to myself and whatnot while they were in class. But I was trying to get these things done because I ended up with 2 challenges this week. One that, or 2 collabs. One that posted on Friday, and one that is posting today, Sunday. And I was trying to get them done and uploaded and ready to go before I left for my trip. but my monitor on my computer decided to be a stinker, and it went out. It was I've only been using the same monitor for probably 10 years, so, you know, I guess I can't complain too much. It lasted me about 10 years before it went out, but it was the worst possible time. So I ended up having to take my supplies with me to get my projects done. I had gotten the projects done for the other collab before I left, so it was just this one that I had to do. But so I was crafting while we were there, except for the day that I was watching the little guy. So yeah, my laptop won't run the editing software that I typically use. So that was interesting. I opted, after trying an online one to get the other video done, I opted to just wait and let that, and just post a little bit late to the playlist. I'm not god awful late. It could have been worse. But anyway, I was trying to get ahead of the game, and my computer just said no. I wasted way too much time trying to figure out what the issue was with my computer, so I didn't get my projects actually done until I got there and I worked on them. But you can see I took one of those little wooden flower pots from Dollar Tree, and I don't remember where I got this plaque from. But I took one of the little wooden flower pots, and I didn't get any, I forgot to pack any of the floral foam and whatnot, so I used hot glue. I had to improvise a lot. So the second project, this one, is the one that I'm using the tin foil and the funnel for. And I made this one for my business partner, Dee Dee. She absolutely loves this movie, and she's just a huge fan. So I'll let you see if you can guess what I'm going to make with this before I give it away. Thankfully, she thought it was absolutely adorable. It did not work out at all like I had envisioned doing, because I didn't have backup supplies when I realized that the little ball that I'm working with there was too small for the can that I took. So I ended up having to use one of the white claw cans that from one of the attorneys, when we were in the evening. I cut it in half and just kind of had to improvise. So, it didn't come out at all like I had envisioned. It's not my favorite work, but the recipient of it thought it was adorable and loves it. So I guess that's all that matters, right? So I started this project. We were at the Wilderness Lodge in Sevierville that has an indoor water park. So every time they got out of class and came back, we were going down to the water park. And so I was doing this in stages. I'd craft a little bit, and then they'd come back and we'd go do our thing, and we'd come back to the room after we ate, and we had a little bit of, game time and whatnot, and then I would resume the crafting. So, the last night, Saturday night that we were there, we all went doing the touristy thing, and we ended up, I don't know, I'm sure that not all of you have ever been to the Smoky Mountains, but there's the old Smoky brewery. I don't know if it's, anyway, they make moonshine, and they do moonshine tasting. And I gave into the peer pressure, and I decided to do some of the, do one of the tastings. They give you like little teeny tiny, the church size cups that you use for communion, little teeny bits. But I hadn't eaten anything since that morning. So by the time, when I got back to the room to finish my project, I was feeling pretty good. So that was kind of interesting. But we had fun, and I got my projects done. I'm not sure that my methods of improvising after the moonshine were the best methods, but they worked. So, there you go. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure out how I had decided that, I'd use one of these dowels to kind of stick down in that foam that I put in there. And that's just that foam insulation that I had used it on some projects before, and there was still some left in the can. And if any of you have ever used that, you know that once you use it, if you don't use it all, what's left in the can is no good. I mean, you'll never get any more out of it if you let it dry up in the tube, and it's impossible to get it out of the tube. So I stuck that down, used a dowel, stuck it down in there. As you could see, I had a little bit of struggle and had to use the scissors to poke a hole for the dowel to go in the head. But it's all good. It came together. And then I was trying to figure out, after I put the face on, I was trying to figure out how to, because there's like that gap where the head's there and you can see inside the can. So while I was doing this part, I was thinking about how I was going to cover that up. So I was not able to find any funnels the right size to purchase, to use this for this project. So I took my kitchen funnels with me, and I used it as a template to make my own funnel with the foil. Now, I hope that the hosts are okay with that, because it technically is a funnel, and I used a funnel to make it, so I think it falls in the guidelines. We'll see. They'll let me know. But yeah, and here's where I kind of figured out what I was going to do with that. I had to pull the head back out of there. I just took some foil and put it over. I didn't have any pliers with me, or I probably, rather than putting the foil around the edge of the can like I did, if I had had pliers, I would have taken and folded it over to get rid of that really, the sharp edge from cutting it. But I didn't have any pliers with me. So, again, improvising while under the influence of moonshine. I wasn't like totally drunk, but I was feeling a good happy, good happy buzz. So I got that and went and trimmed it around after I put it over there, and I hot glued it and made sure it was nice and, as flush as I could get it. And then I had to, after I got the hat on and that on, I had to go back and paint over all of that with the elephant. I used the elephant gray Waverly chalk paint, and then I used a silver folk art acrylic paint. But I wanted it all to match, and the foil is just too bright, shall we say. So there's my little man with his little funnel hat on, As soon as they had said what the challenge items were, that it was foil and a funnel, I was like, oh, I know what I'm making. And then at some point in our little group chat, several people had mentioned, that they had thought of that too. And I was like, okay, now that's interesting, because I honestly didn't think anybody else was going to think of that idea, or possibly make it. And I don't know if anybody else did one. I haven't watched the playlist yet, so I'm curious to see if anybody else went ahead and did the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz. But this is Wizard of Oz is Dee Dee's favorite movie, so I knew that this was the perfect, I was like, oh, I can make this and she'll love it, because she is like a huge fan. So at certain parts of this, when I was trying to figure out how to improvise, I had the wrong song running through my head for the character I was making, but, I had the "If I Only Had a Brain" running through my head. It's like I was not. I felt like my brain was not on full functioning mode, and it probably wasn't. But we improvised. I took one of those Dollar Tree cutting mats. I had a piece of it left over from a different project to cut his little hands out, and I didn't have a Sharpie marker, so I had to improvise that too. So they're a little bit janky. I mean, let's face it, the whole Tin Man is a little bit janky, but it was cute. So I had to paint on here with the elephant gray, and then I went back over it with the with that silver folk art paint, so that it still had like that the shimmer, like the Tin Man has. And see, my original idea, I was going to put legs on him, all that good stuff. By the time I got to this point, I was like, okay, I'm improvised out. So we just have a little top half of the Tin Man with his little janky hands. I'm telling you, y'all, it was a challenge this week. It was, but it was fun. I had fun. We all had fun, while we were there, and I got my projects done. I'm just a little bit late getting the video uploaded, but that's okay. So here we are with the final reveal, and I just want to remind y'all to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Hit that little notification bell so that you get notified each time I upload new content. And don't forget to check out the playlist, check out the other hosts' links, and please, please help Brenda reach her goal. And as you can see here, I ended up afterwards adding a little heart on the front. I didn't have any red paint, so that's what we got. But thanks so much. I appreciate you watching, and have a great night.